First of all, before this video starts, I want to thank everyone for absolutely blowing up the shipwrecked vid. I've been seeing some really heartwarming comments on there and in my recent posts. We didn't take long at all in hitting the 5k goal, and same with the 6k goal now. And so on my birthday, I'll be showing my face to you guys. I've also been seeing a lot of comments along the lines of don't feel forced to show your face or advising me not to show my face, and I just want to publicly express my reasons for showing my face. The main one being that people are gonna end up seeing my face anyway. If I ever go to conventions in the future, I'll already have a lot of different things to be worrying about whilst I'm walking around, and I don't want to be worrying about hiding my face the whole time too. And either way, the internet is gonna find out what my face looks like, and I'd rather you guys just have a face to put to the strange raccoon thing. I kind of just want to get it over and done with so you guys don't have to keep wondering what my face looks like. I will be posting that reveal on my birthday, the 25th of February, because it's on a Sunday and that just lines up really well for a video. And on that same day, I'll be releasing that small project that I've been hyping up in the last video. And finally, I've started a sub goal / dono goal over on the Twitch channel of about 50 subscriptions to buy a lava lamp. Just because I think they're cool. And it gives me more incentive to stream more, so make sure not to miss any of those. We're gonna be playing Cry of Fear over there, which is a game that it definitely is gonna scare the shit out of me. But with all of those announcements out of the way, we're doing another SCP read-up video because after the shipwrecked video, I need something simple and short, and by suggestions of your guys' comments and my Discord votes, we're gonna be talking about SCP-1762, also known as Here Be Dragons. Which, I will be honest, up until making this video, I never went and read this SCP. All I knew is that it was a very big community favorite, and I think I saw it one time in a Unity game. But apart from that, here's the wiki page. Item number SCP-1762. Object class neutralized. Special containment procedures. SCP-1762-1 is held in the standard containment unit at site. During the periods when SCP-1762-1 releases SCP-1762-2, video logs are to be recorded for future research. Although instances of SCP-1762-2 have been deemed harmless, they should not be allowed to exit their containment unit. Description: SCP-1762-1 is a plain cardboard box that is 32 cm by 20 cm by 26 cm. It is spray-painted silver on the interior and exterior, and the words "Here Be Dragons" are handwritten in black permanent marker on the lid of the container. Opening the lid of SCP-1762 when it is not in the process of release reveals it to be empty. SCP-1762-1 will infrequently open and initiate a release of SCP-1762-2. During this time, the box will briefly emit a large amount of black smoke that quickly dissipates. It takes an average of 20 seconds for SCP-1762-2 to emerge after the smoke clears. SCP-1762-2 is the collective term applied to the beings that emerge from SCP-1762-1. All instances of SCP-1762-2 bear resemblance to various types of dragons, in both Eastern and Western depictions, albeit in forms similar to that of origami models. Analysis of SCP-1762-2 reveals that they are composed of kami paper. After exiting SCP-1762-1, instances of SCP-1762-2 will fly together in large groups and interact playfully with any nearby personnel and each other. SCP-1762-2 vary in length from 9 to 30 centimeters. All are capable of sustained flight once they exit SCP-1762-1, and all have been recorded attaining speeds of 15 km per hour. The number of SCP-1762-2 varies with each opening of SCP-1762-1, with numbers ranging from 50 to over 400. After approximately 2 or 3 hours of time spent outside SCP-1762-1, all instances of 1762-2 return and fly back into SCP-1762-1. During this time, SCP-1762-1 will once again begin emitting smoke, and instances of SCP-1762-1 will vanish after passing the rim of SCP-1762-1. SCP-1762-1 closes once all SCP-1762-2 have returned into it. The next date of release is inconsistent. A message written or carved into varying material will sometimes materialize on top of SCP-1762-1's lid, Once the box retrieves all instances of SCP-1762-2, attempts to send a message or a recording device back with SCP-1762-2 have provided negative results. These documents and their appropriate dates of appearance have been compiled and recorded. Addendum 1762-01 on 2000, SCP-1762-1 began to undergo a series of events that lasted 11 months and 28 days. These events, as well as prior incidents that led up to the beginning of the scenario, have now been classified under the title of the Jabberwocky event. Document 1762-1, date obtained, 2004. This is the first recorded instance of SCP-1762-1 opening while contained at Site. You have found us. Thank you. It's been so long since we last saw each other, friends. This place has been upheld. The giants and behemoths have kept their word and have not caused any trouble since you last came and gave the order. We missed your company. How has your family been? Do you still know how to work your room? You're welcome to visit any time. Document 1762-4, date obtained, 2004. It's strange to see how much your world has changed. It is even stranger to see how we now appear in this place. In fantasy, we are much bigger, or maybe you've grown taller. Fantasy is still the same. We hope you can visit us like you used to. For our room is as grand as ever, it appears yours have shrunken. We do not understand. The rooms were supposed to be maintained, as was our agreement. Please restore the belief. Document 1762-6, date obtained, 2005. Only 20 instances of SCP-1762-2 appeared during this event. Said instances did not lift off and instead walked slowly on foot for the whole period that they were out of SCP-1762-1. Friends, we apologize for our few numbers. We had to remain in fantasy for quite some time. The others are growing impatient. We're trying to keep the peace, but please, for all of our happiness, repair the room quickly. We know you are trying. Your family is the most imaginative of us all. Document 1762-14, date obtained, 2000. Along with 10 instances of SCP-176-2 appearing, 3 balls of yellow crumpled construction paper were expelled from SCP-1762-2. These pieces were observed to shake violently for 5 seconds, then ceased all further movement. They were picked up by SCP-1762-2 and returned to SCP-1762-1. The giants were foolish. Your room is not ready to accept them yet. We're sorry, friends. We hope we can still see you, but time is growing short for our happiness. Document 1762-15, date obtained, 2000. 5 instances of SCP-1762-2 emerged, carrying said document. They immediately returned to SCP-1762-1 after depositing it on the floor. Tensions are rising. Fantasy is becoming darker. We, the serpents and the hybrids, are furiously trying to hold them back, but the giants and the elves wish to strike and make an entrance. They say that your family has grown stupid and ignorant. We hope this is untrue. It would sadden us greatly to know that you have forgotten. Document 1762-16, date obtained, 2000. A single red instance of SCP-1762-2 emerged from SCP-1762-1. Its wings were torn and it was noticeably crumpled. It collapsed onto the floor 1 minute later and did not move again. Upon its expiration, the body of SCP-1762 rapidly unfolded and revealed a message written on the white side of the paper. War. Goodbye, friends. 2 hours later, SCP-1762-1 opened and emitted flames that reached 2 meters in height and temperatures of 1,700 degrees Celsius. Sounds of distant roaring were heard from within SCP-1762-1. At 20 hours, a large amount of torn paper pieces and paper balls were ejected from SCP-1762-1. Several damaged SCP-1762-2 were also expelled and were deemed deceased upon examination. SCP-1762-1 continued to sporadically open and close for the next 6 weeks. During this time, it continued to emit fire as the amount of paper discharged from it steadily decreased. Matter resembling muscle and tissue was continuously expelled from SCP-1762-1 at increasing frequency. SCP-1762-1 remained closed and inactive for the next 7 months. Document 1762-17. Date obtained, 2000. This document was discovered lying inside the interior of SCP-1762-1. It was written on parchment and many of the words had been blurred or stained with blood. Are you still out there, friends? We miss you dearly. Fantasy is no longer safe. Our haven, your creation, is gone. The giants are dead. The centaurs are dead. The birds have fled. We're going to bury your room. We cannot risk hurting you. This is our goodbye. Maybe one day your family can build another room. This may be hollow hope, but we'll cherish this thought. 1 hour later, SCP-1762-1 began to shake and emit smoke for 15 minutes, after which it began to sag and collapse. Several portions of the box began to char and tear, creating small burn holes throughout. The words "Here be dragons" on the lid of the box were burned away. Document 1762-18. Date obtained, 2000. This is the final message obtained from SCP-1762-1. It was written in ink on a papyrus scroll, and also depicted a scene of a painted mountainous landscape filled with large trees and waterfalls. A single winged dragon can be seen in the background. It appears to be flying away. The message is written in black ink at the bottom right-hand corner. Master says that we won't see you again. We are sad. So are the remaining others. We once filled each other's heads with dreams and goals. It is so sad that we cannot share them any longer. Master says we have to go. He says that he'll make us a new fantasy. He says you cannot be a part of it. We are sad. We love you. We will not forget you. We are scared. Will you forget us? Upon removal of Document 1762-18, salt water began to leak from SCP-1762-1, and the burn marks that covered the container began to disappear. 3 minutes later, SCP-1762-1 had been restored to its original state. The words "Here be dragons" were replaced with the words "Here were dragons." The Jabberwocky event is declared concluded with this occurrence. Since the end of the Jabberwocky event, SCP-1762-1 has shown no further anomalous properties and has been declared neutralized. SCP-1762-1 and 3 deceased instances of SCP-1762-2 now reside in researcher Yoshihiro Takanaka's office for commemorative purposes. After nearly 8 years of inactivity, researcher Takanaka reported SCP-1762-1 began emitting purple smoke and spontaneously opened after 23,000 hours, falling to the floor. It dislodged a small chunk of crystal, later identified as amethyst, and a large leather-bound book. The contents of this book appear to detail various species that once lived inside the world of SCP-1762, though from what the author has written, all organisms mentioned are likely extinct. This book is now classified as 1762-BOL-1. The amethyst crystal had the following words carved into it: "One last time." After falling, SCP-1762 spontaneously emitted smoke for the next 40 minutes, before ceasing all activity. Upon trying to pick up SCP-1762-1, Takanaka reported that the box proceeded to disintegrate upon touching it. Its remains are now kept in a containment capsule in his office. SCP-1762 isn't a horror-styled SCP, it's an extremely sad story, and to tell you the truth when I say that I cried during the making of this video, it's a pretty sad story. There's a lot of mystery going on here about what world was inside the box, what family are these notes going on about, and was there somehow some way to save the box and all of the creatures in that separate world? All of these we'll probably never know, but in my opinion the story and the page itself is really well written and gives us a bit of a base to work with. However, it's only if you decide to continue reading about it and the Jabberwocky event that you get to see the rest of the story. Usually seeing the words neutralized on an SCP means a good thing. A lot of the SCPs that you'll find on the wiki are these monstrous beast creatures that want nothing more than to tear out your spleen and send you to some strange pocket dimension. However, seeing the word neutralized on SCP-1762 is a heartbreaking feeling once you learn about its story, and it's a good break from the rest of the SCPs. SCPs don't always have to be scary. While I may be a horror channel, I still like talking about things that aren't horror every once in a while. The things that are stored at this location are just classed as anomalies, so that just means anything out of the usual. Things like SCP-999, 131, and 529 show the potential for SCPs that aren't just blah blah scary monster all the time. Another really picky thing that I want to point out about the SCP wiki that 1762 manages to avoid, and it's something that is probably very well known among a lot of the community, is wiki pages where about half of the page is either redacted or blacked out. It's most of the time there to cover up inconsistencies or to make them seem scarier or more mysterious because you're not high enough of a rank to have that information. However, I feel like it is very easy to overuse it, and SCP-1762 does a good job at avoiding this by only ever really blocking out dates and locations, and it still manages to create a good amount of mystery around itself without having to take away any other information from us. And just overall, I can see why SCP-1762 is so well liked around the community. It's just a really good story about an unfortunate lack of knowledge to save these dragons. But apart from that, that will be all from me this week. The video is short, but after making the shipwrecked video, I don't want to start having 2-week breaks between videos. I like being able to give you guys as much of the time weekly content, with a couple of long videos here and there. But apart from that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.